Welcome. In front of me is a HUAWEI MatePad T10S, and today I'll show you a couple tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. Now, starting off, we're going to begin with the gesture navigation, which you can see already being enabled. And to get it enabled like I have, all you need to do is go into settings, then system and update, and system navigation, and then here you'll have the two different navigations, so 3-key nav and gesture. Now, if you never use gestures, they basically remove the buttons at the bottom and substitute them for something a little bit different. So as a brief abbreviation of it, I swipe up to go home, swipe up and hold to go to recent, and swipe from the sides to, looks like I can't swipe back from this, so swipe from the sides to go back, and as you can see it gives you these gigantic oversized black arrows. So yeah, and it's a fairly nice way of navigating. Also, it removes them from the bottom, so it shifts everything a little bit down because we don't need that anymore. So it makes it look a little bit cleaner in my opinion. But moving on to the next option, it's gonna be the dark mode, and this is just a strictly aesthetic option. When you pull down the notification panel, you will find a toggle for it right over here, and when you tap on it, as you can see, it changes it into dark mode. And that will persist over the settings as well, along with default apps. As you can see, basically everything becomes dark now. Now, just as an example, I'm gonna turn it off just so you can see it. There we go. And as you can see, now it's in light mode. Let's go to later. And again, if I enable it, it changes it into dark. So, just a nice way. And we quickly check something. So sometimes there is also a setting for it where we can set it as a schedule, but it looks like it is not the case right here. And moving on to the next option, it's gonna be the home screen style. Now, by default, it comes with this, in my opinion, a little bit annoying home screen style of like copying iPhones and every like iOS version of it. So if you install any kind of application, it's going to be smack in the middle right here, and if you tend to have a lot of them, you're going to have several pages of them. And as you can see, there is no up drawer as well normal Androids have it. So to accommodate for that problem, we're going to turn it on by going into the settings, and from here you want to go to home screen and wallpaper, and then home screen style. And as you can see, we are right now in the standard one, which is kind of I would say the other way around. The drawer is the standard one, the iOS annoying all icons on or apps on your home screen is not the standard. So from here, select the drawer, go back, or actually just did it by itself, and now as you can see, we have this arrow, and we still have pages, but as you can see, there's way less apps on here than there previously were. And to get access to all of your apps that are installed, all you need to do is swipe up. And it is also categorized in a little bit of a way, so we have suggested one at the top, which will show you the most used ones, and then every other app below that is in alphabetical order, with them kind of getting selected whenever you get to the app, so you know from which point onward it's that letter. And moving on to the next option, which I won't really show off. There is a specific video for that, but I will kind of describe it and give you the use for it. So because this is HUAWEI, as you already see, there is no app store anywhere on this device. And normally you can go to the app gallery, and from there simply look for your application and hopes that the developer of it has ported it to the app gallery. But as we all know, not every application here can be accessed the same way as it can be on the Google Play Store. And if your app that you're looking for is one of those apps that you cannot find in the app gallery, what you can do is get your device, any kind of other phone that does have an app gallery, but Play Store. And from there, go to the Play Store, download that app that you want to have, and also download the app called Phone Clone, assuming this device that has the Play Store is not Huawei. If you have a Huawei device, then this Phone Clone application will already be pre-installed. And from there, what you can do is simply launch the Phone Clone right here. And you know what, I'm gonna also open it up on my phone. Let me quickly find it. So Phone Clone, there we go. So I do have a Huawei phone, and this one was the Mate 20 Pro, so it's still when Huawei actually had access to Play Store. And in here, all you need to do is select that this is the old device. It tells you to scan the QR code, and here let's agree this is the new phone, or let's allow everything that we'll want. And from here, select old phone type. So simply select whichever one it is. For me, it's going to be with Huawei. Scan the code. There we go. And unfortunately, it disconnected me from Bluetooth, so my music stopped. But give it a second. Hopefully, you can see it. Let me quickly maybe make it brighter. There we go. Made it a little bit brighter. Now it looks like it's kind of struggling connecting to it for some reason. And I don't really have all day to try this. Oh, there we go. And as you can see, it pops up basically everything that is on this device. That will also include specific applications. So in here, this is all categories. So you could deselect all the categories like so, and then go to apps and the data by simply clicking on it. And in here we have all the applications. So what I could do is, for instance, now I'm not exactly sure if this will work exactly. Things like Google services are probably required for Chrome, and unfortunately I cannot get Google services. But what you would do is simply tap on OK, transfer, tap on OK again. Now I do have a pattern, so I'm gonna put it in. There we go. And it's going to start transferring, hopefully. Now, I am uncertain how Google browser will work with this, but for the sake of science, I guess. So as you can see, it's right now transferring. And there we go, so it's sent here and here as well, so I can just set it to the side, finish up, and ignore whatever. And let's see if it got installed. Now I do have kind of a low expectation for the Google Play Store, or not Play Store, but yeah, I don't see it. I'm not sure if it worked or not. So I think Google might not be the best option that I just showed. But in normal circumstances, any kind of other app you can transfer, and you can take it to a little bit of a further extent. Maybe, you know what, just so I actually have something to show. Let me try that again though, because I do want to kind of show this off actually working. So again, I'm gonna wait for it to connect, and I'm gonna basically transfer the launcher that I use along with basically the license with it, which is something that I can do. That would be really nice if this could connect a little bit quicker. There we go. So again, I'm gonna basically deselect everything and then go to apps and data and look for, come on, there we go, S, there we go. So smart launcher, and tap on OK. can also check if there is something for it in different places. Okay, so we have just a smart launcher. Let's go. Be here to verify you're okay. Now again, I'm gonna put in my lock screen. Cool. And now it's gonna begin. Now this was fairly quick. It already sent it apparently. Okay. Let's finish it up here. Cloud backup. I'll just ignore this. Did it work? Oh, there it is. So smart launcher. And as you can see, there it is. So it launched smart launcher. Gonna continue. Okay, and there we go. So as you can see, this is the smart launcher. It looks like it didn't. I didn't select the actual license with it, the data. I don't remember what was actually being stored, but if you can find it in there, and like documents or something like that, you can also transfer that, and this will basically then allow you to have every setting that you have set on, for instance, like this launcher, and any kind of changes that were made to it, backgrounds and everything like that will be selected as well. But like I said, for me it looks like I right now don't actually have the premium unlocked, which I do have on my actual phone. Now this app is accessible on the app gallery if you're wondering. It wasn't at the beginning because I tried this at the beginning and it still worked. Now it is on app gallery, so you can get it from there if you wanted to, but in other words, you can transfer apps like that are still not on the app gallery and they will work just fine. Now moving on to the next and last thing that I wanted to show would be just the simple animation speed. So we went probably from a more complicated to one of the simpler ones, and by default, as you can see, this is just the animation speed. Anything that you close, just kind of like zooming in, closing, fading away animations, have its animation speed is set to a specific speed, but we can change it by going into these settings, scrolling all the way down, and if you have enabled developer options, then you can go into system and update and go to developer options. If you didn't enable it yet, you can go to about phone, tap on the build number 7 times. For me it just gives me you are already a developer, so that's about it. But once you tap on it 7 times, it will enable it for you as well, and then you can just go back to system and updates, developer options, and from here you want to scroll down a little bit past halfway and you should see this section right over here. So we have window animation scale, transition animation scale, and animation duration scale, and each one of them corresponds to different kind of animation. So for instance, the window animation scale will be the speed of the window that will pop up once I actually tap on it to change it. So this is window animation scale, and I can quickly show it to you. By basically changing it to times 10, I virtually made it 10 times longer, and now it should be super slow, as you can see. But if I wanted to, I can simply tap on off for it, and now it's gonna be instant. There is no animation for it whatsoever. And this is the drastic option, but you can go for the 0.5 speed, and you can also change it all to 0.5 speed, which will increase the animations quite drastically, basically making them half of the speed that they were, or half of the time that they were usually would take. So if it was taking a second to go through an animation, now it's gonna take you 30 seconds. Or not 30 seconds, but I was saying half a second. So that is a way that you can get quicker through different animations and shorten out the speed that you'd usually have to actually wait for an app to open. But that would conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I wanted to share. And if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.